Hello friends, so I'm having this question paper of International English Olympiad by SOF for 22-23 for class 4. I'm having question paper set C. This Olympiad was held on 1st November 2022. So we are going to discuss the answers. So this is the question paper, those who have to practice for the upcoming Olympiads or the Olympiads which are going to be held next year. Listen carefully. So this is the question booklet, and you have to write your details here, your name, your roll number, contact number, and the total number of questions in this Olympiad is 35, and time given to solve it is 1 hour. These are the instructions for the candidates which you must read before you go to attempt the Olympiad. These are given in all the websites and books also. You have to go through all the instructions, and then you be prepared on the day of the Olympiad, because sitting there in the examination hall, if you go into looking at the instructions, it will be I think it will be a waste of time. So it's better you go through it beforehand. So the first part, which is based on word structure and knowledge, okay, for questions 1 to 7 you have to choose the correct option to fill in the blank. So the first question is, Mumbai has a tropical wet and dry dash, and the options are A, sea, B, people, C, mountain, and D, climate. And the correct answer here is D, climate. Mumbai has a tropical wet and dry climate. Next is question number 2. Ankur likes to drive car by option A, themselves, B, himself, C, oneself, and option D, itself. And the correct answer is option B, himself. Ankur likes to drive car by himself. The next, question number 3. I am trying to dash on my studies. Option A, concentrate. Option B, disturb. Option C, learn. And option D, revised. And the correct answer is option A, concentrate. I am trying to concentrate on my studies. The next question is question number 4. Have you dashed your parents about our trip? Option A, tell. Option B, telling. Option C, told. And option D, tells. And the correct answer is option C, told. Next, question number 5. Steve is dash youngest in his entire family. Option A, option B, an, option C, the, option D, no article. You have to fill in an article over here. So the correct answer is option C, the, because youngest, it's written Steve is the youngest, and this is the superlative degree of the word young, so you have to put the over here. It's the rule. The next question is question number 6. Dash playing cricket. He also enjoys swimming. Options are option A, beside, option B, between, option C, behind, and option D, besides. And the correct answer is option D, besides. Besides playing cricket, he also enjoys swimming. Question number 7. He was hurt during practice. Dash still continued to play. The options are option A, because, option B, but, option C, so, and option D, or. And the correct answer is option B, but. He was hurt during practice, but still continued to play. Next part is, we'll read the question first. For questions 8 and 9, choose the correct option for the underlined word. Now, question number 8 is, their boss is very rude to everyone. The underlined word is rude over here, and you have to identify whether it is an adjective, pronoun, verb or adverb. Now, since in the sentence the word rude is describing the boss, so since it is describing a noun, the word rude is an adjective. So the correct answer is A, adjective. Then question number 9, can you help me with my homework? Here the underlined word is help, and help is, the options given here are option A, noun, option B, adjective, option C, verb, and option D, pronoun. And the correct answer is help is a verb. It is a doing word. So option C is the correct answer. Now next is, for the questions 10 and 11, choose the part of the sentence that has an error. So you have to choose the part with an error. Okay. And the question number 10 is, I hard get time to play in the park. So the options are I hard, option B is get time, option C is to play, and option D, in the park. And the correct answer here is option A, I hard. It should have been I hardly. I hard is wrong. The correct answer, the correct sentence should have been, I hardly get time to play in the park. Then the next question number 11, Riddhi and her friend is throwing a party tonight. The options are option A, Riddhi and, option B, her friend is, option C, throwing a, and option D, party tonight. So here we have to find which is the erroneous part, the wrong part. So Riddhi and her friend is throwing. Okay, this is given. So it cannot be is, because they are talking about two people. Okay, and so the correct answer here is option B, her friend is. It should have either been her friends are. Okay, Riddhi and her friends are throwing a party tonight, or here they should have given, the question should have been a little different. This part of the answer, her friend is wrong. Now next, moving forward, for questions 12 and 13, choose the option with the correct spelling. So you have to find the correct spelling over here. Option A, EQUIVOCAL. Option B, EQIVOCAL. Option C, EQUAVOCAL. And option D, EQUIVACOL. The correct spelling here is equivocal, option A. Option A is giving you the correct spelling of equivocal. Next, question number 13. You have to find the correct spelling of ancestor. Option A is ANSESTOR. Option B, ENCESTOR. Option C, ANCESTOR. And option D, ENCASTOR. And the correct spelling over here, the correct option over here is option C, ANCESTOR, ancestor. Now the next question is question number 14. Choose the correct synonym of troop. Option A, group. Option B, modest. Option C, single. And option D, workable. And the correct answer over here, you have to find the meaning of, synonym means the meaning. You have to find the meaning of troop. So the meaning of troop, the correct answer over here is option A, group. Group means group. And in the next question, number 15, choose the correct antonym of forbid. So you have to find the opposite of forbid. Options are option A, reset, option B, prohibit, option C, rejoice, and option D, permit. And the correct answer is, the opposite of forbid is permit. Option D is the correct answer. To forbid means to stop forcefully or as a rule, and D is permit, which is the opposite. It means to allow. The next part is the reading part, in which you have passages, and the first passage here is it contains questions 16 to 20. For questions 16 to 20, read the passage and answer the questions that follow. So this is the passage. I think I'll read the passage so that you just get an idea about what kind of passages are going to be there in the exam. Cartoons, it is about cartoons, okay? So cartoons are drawings that make a point, tell a joke or a story. It can be about almost anything. Many cartoons are about the everyday life of the common people. Others are about the news, political leaders, or historical events. Cartoons try to make people laugh. Comic strips are a popular type of cartoon. A comic strip usually has 4 or more drawings in a row that tell a connected story. Comic strips feature a cast of characters such as the children in the comic strip Peanuts. Other types of cartoons include political cartoons, gag panels, and animated cartoons. Political cartoons show what is wrong with the government or make fun of it. These are usually single drawings, but there are some political comic strips too. Gag panels are single drawings that make fun of everyday life. Animated cartoons are cartoons filmed as movies or television shows. Cartoons can also be found in newspapers, magazines, and books. Comic books and graphic novels are books filled with many comic strips or cartoons. From prehistoric times, people have been using pictures to tell stories. Prehistoric artists drew pictures of animals on the walls of caves. In ancient Egypt, Greece, and Rome, artists painted pictures on vases and walls. These pictures recorded historical events, the lives of important people, and legends. From the 1500s to the 1700s, people received the news through short printed works that had many pictures. Most of these pictures were early forms of political cartoons. Political cartoons became common throughout Europe and the United States during the 1800s. During the 1900s, funny gag panels and comic strips became more popular than political cartoons. So this passage is about cartoons. And the 16th question is, what is this passage about? I already told you it is about cartoons. So the correct answer is option A, cartoons. Next is, which type of cartoon has 4 or more drawings in a row that tell a connected story? The options are political cartoons, option A, then option B is comic strips, option C is gag panels, and option D is animated cartoons. And the correct answer here is option B, comic strips. Question number 18. What do political cartoons show? Option A, funny moments in life. Option B, good aspect of government. Option C, funny things about animals. And option D, what is wrong with the government. And the correct answer over here is option D, what is wrong with the government. Then next, question number 19. Pictures on walls and vases in prehistoric times recorded the historical events, the lives of dash and dash. Option A is animals and birds. Option B is local people, farmers. Option C is important people, legends. And option D, women, children. And the correct answer over here, let me see. Yes, the correct answer is option C, important people and legends. Then question number 20. In the given passage, the word ancient means option A, new, option B, historic, option C, civil, and option D, walls. And the correct answer is option B, historic. The next passage for the questions 21 to 25 are based on this passage. So for question 21 and 22 25, read the passage and answer the questions that follow. So let us read the passage. Once upon a time, there was a kingdom. The king there had only one leg and one eye, but he was very intelligent and kind. Everyone in his kingdom lived a happy and healthy life because of their king. One day, the king was walking through the palace hallway and saw the portraits of his ancestors. He thought that one day his children will walk in the same hallway and remember all the ancestors through these portraits. But the king did not have his portrait painted. Due to his physical disabilities, he wasn't sure how his painting would turn out. So he invited many famous painters from his and other kingdoms to the court. The king then announced that he wants a beautiful portrait made of himself to be placed in the palace. Any painter who can carry out this task should come forward. He will be rewarded based on how the painting turns out. All of the painters began to think that the king has only one leg and one eye. How can his picture be made very beautiful? It is not possible. And if the picture does not turn out to look beautiful, then the king will get angry and punish them. So one by one, all started to make excuses and politely declined to make a painting of the king. But suddenly, one painter raised his hand and said, "I will make a very beautiful portrait of you, which you will surely like." The king became happy hearing that and other painters got curious. The king gave him the permission and the painter started drawing the portrait. He then filled the drawing with colors. Finally, after taking a long time, he said that the portrait was ready. All of the courtiers, other painters, were curious and nervously thinking, how can the painter make the king's portrait beautiful if the king is physically disabled? What if the king didn't like the painting and gets angry? But when the painter presented the portrait, everyone in the court, including the king, were left stunned. The painter made a portrait in which the king was sitting on the horse on the one-leg side, holding his bow and aiming the arrow with his one eye closed. The king was very pleased to see that the painter had made a beautiful portrait by cleverly hiding the king's disabilities. The king gave him a great reward. So this is the passage. Now let's see the questions. Question number 21 is, what is this passage about? The options are option A, the king's horse, option B, the king's portrait, option C, the king's palace, and option D, the king's life. And the correct answer is option B, the king's portrait. Question number 22. Why didn't the king have his portrait painted? Option A is he already had one. Option B is he didn't want any portrait. Option C, due to his physical disabilities. And option D, he didn't trust any painter. The correct answer over here is option C, due to his physical disabilities. Next, question number 23. How did the king react after seeing his portrait? Option A, he was angry. Option B, he was stunned. Option C, he felt sad. Option D, he was disgusted. And the correct answer is option B, he was stunned. Next is question 24. Which of the following were not a part of the king's portrait? They are asking which was not a part, right? Option 1 is sitting on the horse on the one leg side. Option B is holding his bow. Option C is a parrot on his shoulder. Option D, aiming the arrow with his one eye closed. And option D is holding his sword. Now over here, the options for answers are option A 1, 2 and 3 only, option B 2 and 4 only, option C 1, 2 and 4 only, and option D 3 and 5 only. And the correct answer here is option D 3 and 5 only. 3 is parrot on his shoulder, and fifth is holding his sword. And the sentence which was given over here, let us just check. So king was sitting on the horse on the one leg side. He was holding his bow, aiming the arrow with his one eye closed. Right? So this is there. He was sitting on a horse on the one leg side. He was holding his bow. Yes, he was aiming the arrow with his one eye closed. And option, we have marked 3 and 5. So we are correct. We have marked the correct answer. He was not holding a parrot, or he was not holding a sword. Instead, he was holding holding his bow and aiming the arrow. Then the next is question number 25. In the given passage, the word curious means dash. The options are option A uninterested, option B busy, option C interested, and option D calm. And the correct answer is option C interested. The next part is on spoken and written expression. And here for questions 26 to 30, you're having 5 questions. Choose the most suitable option to complete each conversation. So these are the conversation questions. Question number 26. Anuj says, I dash studied for the test. Have you? And Ram replies, yes, I have. So you have to fill in the blank. Option A is has, option B is have, option C is are, and option D is am. And the correct answer here is option B, have. I have studied for the test. Have you? Next is question 27. Jyoti says, can I come to the market dash you? And Tina answers, yes, you can. The options here are option A, to, option B, with, option C, by, and option D, of. And the correct answer is option B, with. Can I come to the market with you? Then question number 28. The policeman says, dash of robbers. And the options are A, become, option B, because, option C, bygone, and option D, beware. The correct answer is option D, beware. Then question number 29. Mother says, do not dash in front of the guests. Option A is keep quiet, and the spelling of quiet, not quiet. Keep quiet. B, innocent. C, misbehave, and D, learning. And the correct answer is option C, misbehave. Do not misbehave in front of the guests. Then question number 30. Jim says, let's dash for surfing. And Bob says, okay. Option A is go out. Option B is go to. Option C is go with. And option D is go into. And the correct answer is option A, go out. Let's go out for surfing. And the last section in this question paper, the achievers section. Each question in this section is of 2 marks. So for questions 31 and 32, choose the correct option to fill in the blank. Question number 31. Have you got dash information about the case? Option A is many. Option B is much. Option C is any. Option D is two. And the correct answer is option C. Have you got any information about the case? Next is question number 32. Can you switch off the light? I am trying to dash. Option A is slept. Option B is sleeping. Option C, sleeps. And option D, sleep. And the correct answer here is option D, sleep. Can you switch off the light? I am trying to sleep. Then next, question 33. Choose the part of the sentence that has an error. You have to find the erroneous part. The month of June is hot than April. Option A, the month. Option B, of June. Option C, is hot. And option D, than April. And the correct answer is option C, is hot. So since they are comparing the months of June and April, so there are two things. So it cannot be is hot. It has to be is hotter. The comparative degree has to be there. Then question number 34. Choose the correct synonym of anguish. You have to find the or mark the meaning of anguish. Option A is happiness. Option B is suffering. Option C is timid. And option D is excitement. And the correct answer over here is option B, suffering. Then question number 35, which is the last question. Choose the correct option to complete the conversation. Mahi says, would you look dash this matter? Raghav says, of course. Option A is near. Option B, to. Option C, into. And option D is off. And the correct answer here is option C, into. Would you look into this matter? So this was the last question, and I hope I have been able to give you all the answers. So this was English Olympiad, International English Olympiad by SOF for the year 2022-23, and for class 4, question paper set C, and this exam was held on 1st November 2022. So till the next time, it's goodbye.